Hi guys, this is Hecatehoney. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to get to talk to you about some channelings I've had. We'll probably pull a couple cards and just some thoughts I've had on I think it's what the collective is going through. Um, Considering what I've been talking about with other, say, magical people and other friends of mine, and it's funny because the more people I talk to, the more we are either have gone through this dark night of the soul that I had towards the end of last year, or are now going through it. And I just see a lot of fears coming up for people. And I just want you to know, like, the universe has your back. Your ancestors have your back. Your guides have your back. Even if you're not talking to or listening and hearing from these entities, they have your back. So even with all the fear that could be ruminating in your heart, I just want you to know that you're okay. And that all of this is my take on it, and what I've been kind of getting through not only dream times, but through channelings, is that we are all experiencing an upgrade, ascension, pretty much. Or, I mean, I don't know about everybody, but at least the collective I resonate with. And to do that, it's almost like we had to go through, or are going through, this dark night of the soul, where a lot of pain comes up, fears are coming up. There's a lot of insecurities that are being brought to light and that need to be worked on. And it's not to just, randomly put you in pain or fear or insecurity. It's to level you up. One of my always wishes during rituals, and especially like full moons, etc., is to ask for release from anything that no longer serves me, and that no longer needs to be used, or so that I can operate freely through my life. And I really feel like last year, when I was triggered in Yosemite and Sedona, it was this triggering to really deal with these things I had been putting off. For instance, I'm a big girl, so like my weight, and it's not even just my weight that's the issue. I mean, health-wise, yes, it's always an issue for me personally, but the food, it's the addiction to food, which I have long time addictions. I mean, I put down the drugs and alcohol, and I've been addicted to men. I put that down pretty much, and like books, I don't put that down, but that comes and goes. But food has been a long-standing addiction, a long-standing fix, that whenever I either don't want to feel my feelings, or I'm going through something and just not comfortable doing it, I pick up food. And so at the end of last year, I had a lot of fears surrounding my health, even though nothing was happening. It was that, well, no, there was stuff happening. So for instance, I'm starting to go through, I'm in perimenopause, and it's where your body's preparing to shut down the whole baby making process, which I am looking forward to. But I didn't know there were all these symptoms that go along with it, such as joint pain, and like even heartburn, which I've never had, mood changes, and lack of sleep, lack of energy, and a lot of weight gain. And I quit smoking and vaping last year. And so all of this worked together to be like the perfect storm for me to gain a bunch of weight. And because then, coupled with my food addiction, that's what I was using, right? To supplement, to fix, to not smoke or vape, and to not deal with everything that was going on. And so going to Yosemite and Sedona and getting super triggered, I felt very much in my body, which was very uncomfortable, because one of my things when I get super uncomfortable is I check out of my body and I eat. And so I just didn't know how to deal with being in my body, especially at this size. Because even last year, I think I was, I want to say like 60 to 70 pounds lighter. And I had a lot of movement. I was walking every day. I was eating pretty good. And this just like, and it's almost like I woke up one day and was like, oh my God, how did this happen? Even though I was there for the whole thing. But you know, if you check out, you're just not aware of the events that are happening in your everyday. And I obviously was completely checked out until this dark night of the soul came, and I was very present and aware. And I think part of that awareness is from one, leveling up and getting ready to even ascend more. Because I wholly believe like we're moving into a different dimensional status. And I can see it everywhere. It's so weird. Like even today, I had made some avocado toast and some berries. And I took a bite of the avocado toast, and it was so flavorful and just like tasty, so creamy. It was like nothing I'd ever tasted before. And I was like, this is so weird, because I, you know, had avocado toast pretty much all last week and it didn't taste like that. And it completely changed. And I was just sitting there going, wow, you know, that's kind of crazy. And then a couple hours later, I had these berries with some yogurt, and the berries just like burst in my mouth, and like they were just these beautiful fragrant like tastes of berries, like blueberries and strawberries and raspberries. And it's not even the season, right? It's like dead winter. And I was like, this is so good. Like the taste of things are tasting different. The light is different. Weird little things in my apartment are different. The general vibe at work is different. And like, I really feel like I moved into a different timeline or a different dimension, and I can't really explain it, you know, except for like what I'm talking about in this video. And like, I also think in that dark night of the soul, the feminine has become so present in herself, the feminine energy, and women in general, even, you know, like, I don't even want to say just women who are born women, but even trans women, anyone identifies as woman, I feel like is awakening to their own inner divine feminine and rising up and taking back control of their bodies, their status, how they live in their lives. And, you know, I've been noticing a lot of synchronicities around, you know, the patriarchy and then this rise in the feminine, the divine feminine, who is so powerful. In like everything about the divine feminine is powerful in her, she sits in her power. We sit in our power. And like, I think there's almost like a clapback to these years of patriarchy that have been shoved down our throat and have subordinated the idea of woman to second place, second class citizen. And it's a reclaiming. I feel like there's a reclaiming of the divine feminine. And I've been noticing there's a lot of clapback from the masculines, and I feel like men are not doing okay right now. At least the men who are used to the patriarchy and who live in that patriarchal societal role. I know there's like men out there who are wonderful and like express both their divine feminine and masculine, but I'm talking about the ones who are just in their masculine and not divine. It's like a distorted masculine. And you know, where they're still objectifying women, where they're still creating these stories around women, and you know, just like that disgusting stuff you see on social media. And it's funny because the women I've been talking to want nothing to do. I mean, some of them have really great men. Don't even get me wrong. This is not all men. But like a lot of the women I'm talking to just don't even want anything about men right now. And, or they do, and they're having a really hard time finding suitable partners, suitable even like dates. And I really think it has to do with that. A lot of men who are sitting in that masculine distortion are really finding it hard for themselves right now to be that way. And that there's there's like, because of the divine reclaiming, that it's almost like we were patriarchal over here, like for a long time. And now it's swinging over here to this divine feminine taking back her power and reclaiming her power in place. And so it's going to be really hard for a while. I think the men over here, who are over here, are like, what's going on? And then, you know, eventually it'll even out. I don't think in, say, like for my generation, but I'm hoping for the generations to come. And it's just really funny because, you know, I've been seeing that happening, or at least like you know, like you hear murmurs of something. I've been feeling the murmurs of that in the collective. And then it's just become very loud in society right now, that distorted misunderstanding of what's going on. And like, you know, fear of the divine feminine, right? And it's just like, I'm like, no, claim it, right? And even the men like celebrate this, because we all have divine masculine and feminine within us. We all have that. We are supposed to have a balance of it, but you know, it's just gotten kind of out of hand. So with that, I think with that dark night of the soul, there's a lot of insecurities coming up. And you know, it's the males I've been talking to. You could just tell there's like a unsure quality about them right now. And they're just not sure where they fit. And I think a lot of women felt that way for a long time. And now we're like, no, we're here and we fit here. And it's just this weird space that's just come about. So if you're having a lot of fears and insecurities and, you know, around anything, I really feel like it's because of this upgrade. And it's been funny, since I went through that dark night of the soul and I've come out of it, I have not been happier. Like, everything seems so much more calm to me, and manageable and palatable, and you know, just being able to be myself and know that I'm taken care of. Like, that's what I want you to know. Like, the universe is taking care of you. No matter, even if you don't believe it, it is. But sometimes in not believing it, we throw up obstacles and like illusion into that mix. So then we have to get over that too. Because remember, we live in I want to say a cyclical reality. And it's not like it's A to B. It's like A to B. So it seems like we could, you know, it's like a circle, but what are they called when it goes down like that? It's to me, I call it cyclical, but it's like some other word. And one of those things is, I've been, you know, this one friend of mine at work has been bringing up the eye of the storm. And then I heard that 3 other places. So I really think the thing is, you're in this eye of the storm where there's all this happening around you, but to get in the middle and get quiet and really just be firm in who you are, and rejoice in who you are, celebrate who you are. Because there are no mistakes, you know. Also, with those fears and insecurities that I brought up, or things you need to release, like, do the work. I feel like there's nothing more important than doing the work of identifying what is holding you back, what's causing you to stay up late at night, what's your, you know, Nine of Swords card, like what's causing you pain, and really identify that and like do some writing on it, see it, how far back it can go, get to the root of the issue, you know. Like I know, say with my food addiction, that comes from like childhood of being afraid, not feeling taken care of. Even if I was taken care of and loved and everything, I didn't feel it. So my way to deal with any of those feelings as a kid was to eat something, because it brought about a pleasurable response in my body, right? Like from my mouth to the sugar or whatever I was eating. And like get rid of those crutches. They are crutches to your own joy and happiness. Because a lot of times, just like with my alcohol addiction, what saved me in the beginning turned into a crutch that was causing me a lot of trouble in my life. And I really had to let that go. And it's not until you start to let it go that you can actually feel like the discomfort and really work through those feelings, like see what's triggering it, see what situations you're reaching out for that fix, for that crutch, and identify how you can change that and how you can react differently, right? Like, for instance, like when I was drinking, you know, I would drink all the time to be like when I was happy, when I was sad, and especially when I was sad, right? And just like with food, like if I'm sitting in front of the TV and I'm feeling like lonely or something, I would reach for something chocolatey or sugary. And I'm just like, I wouldn't notice that I was lonely or bored. And now it's like, oh, you're not even really hungry. Why do you want that? And I sit and I do like a little inventory about why I want that, and or why I'm reacting that way. And it's in becoming aware of those triggers that you can change your reaction to it. And I feel like that is part of leveling up, like, because you can have all the good stuff in the world, but if you aren't at peace with yourself, what good is it going to do? You're going to find something to be upset about. You're going to find something to be miserable about. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, about like the collective, and because normally I'll go through things a little bit earlier than other people I know. So like use that time, use that pain, use that fear, and really figure out what's going on with you. And I really hope that, you know, if you need more information about how you can do the shadow work, I think it's pretty much shadow work, because you're really getting down to what brings you shame, what brings you pain, what brings you brings up the fear in your life. And like, I have a lot of divinities I turn to. Are you working with a divinity? Are you working with a God? Are you working with Jesus? Are you working with, you know, a goddess? I have a whole legion of divinities that I work with. And through that dark night of the soul, I felt really disconnected. And I think now at this point, like, I have reinstituted my connection. And how are you feeling connected? What are you doing to bring about that connection? Are you talking daily to your divinities? Are you asking for help? Are you, you know, doing meditation or prayer or rituals? What are you doing to connect with that divinity? You know, I feel like that's really important in terms of being able to support yourself, and because humans are always going to fail us, but our divinities will not. And, you know, I learned that a while ago, and I really learned how to trust. I'm a person who doesn't trust easily. And so with a lot of those fears, one of them that came up was, am I going to be taken care of? You know, like, I'm a single woman by choice. And like, I was thinking about when I get older, like, what's going to happen to me? And I just got in this horrible financial fear. Because, you know, I don't have a shit ton of money to have someone come in and take care of me when I'm old. And, but the thing is like, one part of that financial fear was, am I going to be taken care of? Or am I going to end up destitute out on the street? And which I think is just like a common fear for people, especially, like single people or women, or, you know, like, I don't have children either, but I was talking to some of my friends with kids, and they're like, I have the same worry, because, you know, kids nowadays don't even leave. Why am I expecting them to take care of me? But, you know, the thing is, I have like a really rich community. So that's another suggestion, like, you know, doing the work, finding some kind of faith, like, and a belief in a higher power, and really trying to build your tribe and community. Like, my community is really rich. I have like a fellowship I belong to, but I also have cultivated deep and fulfilling platonic relationships in my life. And they're beautiful. And it's not like there's a ton, maybe like a handful, but I can reach out to any one of these people and they'll be there for me immediately. And I mean, I've done the work on that too, like how to be a good friend, you know, like it's not like I have to talk to someone every day, but when we do get together, you know, making a point, one, to ask to get together, asking about their lives, you know, being involved and celebrating their joys, right? And then holding space during struggles. I feel like that's really important. And recently, like, I'd been spending a lot of time with my family, and you know, not everybody has family. I'm really lucky to have some family members close by, and just learning how to be there for them as well in the way they want, not just how I want, but in the way they want, has really opened my eyes and given me a chance to celebrate, you know, these people in my life and to spread that love, because that's the other thing is find your joy, find your love. And it doesn't matter if it's people or if it's creating. Like, another aspect of coming out of this dark night of the soul is I realized I'm a creative and that I have to create something every day to feel, to keep the flow going. Because if I'm not creating anything, I tend to get stagnant, and that causes like depression in me. Like, it's almost like their creative juices are flowing, and then they get stuck and then they back up, and it causes me to get really, it's almost just I become like a log or something. It's really weird. And so I've made like an oath to myself, like, we're going to create something every day, whether it be a video, whether I'm, you know, crocheting a blanket, doing a vision board, writing, I'm a writer, and drawing, something, just create something. Or even if it's like a beautiful meal for yourself, just creating something and putting your energy and love into it, which I'm going to do a spell. I'm going to post a spell on how to put your energy into whatever it is you create. And, you know, there's so many ways we can be fulfilled. And it's not like with, like, say, my financial fear, it's not like I got a lot more money and, you know, all of a sudden became comfortable. No, it's the same. It's just how I look at it. Like, look, I'm working towards paying off my credit cards. I'm putting a little something away for retirement. I mean, not a lot, but, you know, something. And I'm living within my means. I'm working on a budget, right? So it's like taking these micro actions, just like with my food. I'm adding in more vitamins and supplements. I'm adding in tea. I'm adding in more vegetables. And for my overall health, like, I'm adding in little walks. So it's all these micro actions that can turn into a huge cumulative change. So, you know, if you're going through what I talked about that dark night of the soul, or if you were going through it and you're still not sure what you're supposed to do or how to move into a different space, these are my suggestions, right? Like, finding your tribe, finding some kind of faith, doing the shadow work, doing the writing, being creative, and also like just changing your perspective and take some micro actions. And if you have any questions, let me know in, you know, the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm just so humbled to share my thoughts and views with you guys. And if anything, like, you know, concerned you, or you found like, not threatening, what's the word? Like it bothered you. You can let me know that too, and I will definitely, you know, send a respectful response. Love you guys. Have a great night. Hecatehoney out.